Hello, guys. Well, it's me again, and it's approaching weekend, so I thought I'd make another Magic the Gathering stream. This time around, we're gonna look at the token deck again, and well, we're gonna hopefully do some changes to it. Maybe we'll do a land count and see how many lands there are and stuff, and see if there are any cards that I feel are redundant and need to be changed out for something else, which I don't know because I haven't really prepared for this video. So I have no cards in the maybe pile this time. Uh, but as you may know, this deck is based upon this commander right here. It's Essex Fractal Blue. Yeah. And it says the first time you would create one or more tokens during each of your turns, you may instead choose a creature other than a 6 fractal bloom and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature. Yeah. So it's a pretty powerful commander, this, because he just copies a lot of creatures on the board. The problem, though, with him is that he's a bit expensive, but it doesn't really need to attack because he can just stick around, even though it's got flying and stuff, and he can actually do some damage because he's got 4 in damage. You can just stick around and yeah, and have cards evolve around him, so he doesn't really have to do much. He can just, but he has to be in play though. He can't be in the command zone, and yeah, he can't be anywhere else. He has to be on the battlefield. So there we go. That's the commander, howdy doody, and we're gonna look at the deck. It's this deck right here. Got blue, I believe, is Dragon Shield sleeves. I'm actually considering changing out all my sleeves because Dragon Shield, although they look really good, they aren't really good at shuffling cards. So I need to maybe look at that and see what I'm gonna do with it. Yeah. Okay. But these boxes from Ultra Pro, I can say that these are really good because you got like the box here, so you can like do like that, and it just clicks, right? So you open it, and you have your cards in here, but there's also an extra compartment in here, which you open like that, and that can be used for all kinds of junk. And I got like dice in here, and I also got a 4-sided dice. So yeah, and that turned out to be 3. Yeah, so pretty cool. Love this stuff to bits, man. So yeah, wish they made more colors of it though, because they don't got many colors. They got a pink one, they got a black one, they got a red one, and they got a so. And I also think they got a neutral one, like a transparent one with no colors. Yeah. Oh well, that's it. We're gonna go through this deck now and see if it's anything I need to change out or if it's anything I need to do with it. First card out there is Mikoloth. Okay, so it's a fungus, and it says devour. As it enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a number of creatures. This creature enters the battlefield with twice that many +1/+1 counters on it. Okay. At the beginning of your upkeep, create. Oh, here we go. 1/1 green sapling creature token for each. Okay, so that's the point of it then. It creates tokens. So, but as you know, at the beginning of your upkeep, create a 1-1 green separating creature token. But no, it doesn't, because this commander is in play, so I get to copy any creatures on the board, really. So good. That's good. It's working according to plan. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I gotta keep that then. Yeah. Drinking water today again. Trying to go the healthy route. So not many sodas for me. But there you go. I'll probably have some in the weekend. Yeah. Treasure Cruise. It's just a really easy way to draw cards, really. I have had this in my Drake deck, which is has lots of sorceries and instances, so this gets to stay here as well. Yeah. And it costs 8, but you can sacrifice cards in your graveyard, and if you sacrifice all 7 cards, if you have that many cards in your graveyard, then it only costs 1. But of course, the cards you sacrifice will have to leave the game, of course. Pretty cool. What's next? It's my first land, so oops. So here we go. First land. And as you may know, yeah, it is. Hello, big boss. How you doing? You doing okay? Getting ready for the weekend, I hope. Yeah. So as I mentioned, Big Boss, I'm just going through my token deck, and this is the commander. So, yeah, the first time you would create one or more tokens each of your turns, you instead choose a creature other than Essex. So I can choose any creature on the board, my own or my enemy's creatures, and this will actually copy the creatures on the board. If my commander is in play, that is. If it is in the command zone, then he won't do anything. So there we go. Just to update you, since you just joined the stream. So now you know. Propaganda. Really cool to see this here. It's a powerful card. Each turn, each creature cannot attack you unless its controller pays an additional 2 for that creature. So it's a sort of a wall, an impenetrable wall, which my enemy players will have to go through, and they have to pay 2 to actually attack me. So if they got 3 creatures and they attack with all 3, then they have to pay 6. So it's pretty cool. What's this? It's Biovisionary. Okay. At the beginning of the end step, if you control 4 or more creatures named Biovisionary, you win the game. Yeah. And what this means is that if I create 4 tokens, and tokens, which is a copy, and the copy means that it's exactly the same card. So if I have 4 of this as tokens, I win the game. So pretty cool. The creature in itself isn't that powerful though. It's cost 3 and it's a 2/3. So, and nothing else is going on with this guy other than that. So, but yeah, it's pretty cool. My second land, good to have, yeah. So number 2 there, yeah. Woo-hoo. And I'm counting lands because I need 36 of them to be efficient with this deck. Anything lower than that, and you're starting to struggle. And anything higher than that, then you got too much lands. Yeah. What's this? It's steal artifact. Gain control of target artifact. Okay. Yeah. If it's an artifact in play, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So I can have all sorts of artifacts. If my enemy players are playing artifacts, that is. So. But it's a cool card to have in a situation where there's an artifact that's giving you trouble, and you can just gain control of it. Yeah. So I guess I'll keep that as well in my deck. It is blue after all, and blue is quite fun to play. What's this? Kodoma's Reach. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards. Reveal those cards. Put one into the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand and shuffle. Pretty cool way to gain lands quickly. So yeah, guess this stays as well in my deck. Another blue land. Let's see here. So now there's 3 lands in this deck. I'm gonna sort these lands out already since I don't have to have them in a separate pile since I'm counting them. So it's no problem. There we go. And if you're eager to know what that means, is that I'm sorting them like this. So I know I have about 1/3 lands in this deck, so I do like this. 1 land, 1 card, 1 card, 1 land, 1 card, 1 card, 1 land, 1 card, 1 card. So there we go. Pretty simple, but it's pretty effective because you make your deck ready for play already. You don't have to get it prepared before you can. Yeah, okay. Doubling season. It's I found this out later that this is not the original card. Well, I guess it is what it is. If an effect would create 1 or more tokens under your control, it creates twice that many of these tokens instead. If an effect would put 1 or more counters on a permanent you control, it puts twice that many other counters. Yeah. So, and the foil here is a bit annoying. It's lots of stuff going on. So, yeah. But it's not an original card. It's a pawn with some swans on it, but it cost like almost 150 quid, so I couldn't afford it. So that's why I bought this. I thought it was an original, but it's fan made or whatever. Yeah. And you can see that it's not original because below the cards usually there's a bunch of text here, but there's nothing. This is Planeswalker, and here you can see that this is an original card since it says it's by Wizards of the Coast, and you see the year of production of the card. Yeah, so. But screw it, I'm just gonna keep it because, well, lesson learned, I guess. This is a Planeswalker, Nissa, Voice of Zendikar. And her first ability already is a token ability, so that's why I need to keep this Planeswalker. And Planeswalker don't have summoning sickness, I'm told, so you just put it out there, and then you can start playing the Planeswalker right away. You play the abilities as a sorcery, so you can't play it as an instant. But it's pretty cool nonetheless. You get to put a token. What else is in there? Put +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's pretty good. You gain X life when you draw X cards, where X is the number of lands you control. So it's pretty good, Planeswalker. Yeah, lets you do some stuff. That's pretty cool. And good to see my first forest. So Now I've got 3 islands and 1 forest, but I'm not going to count them like that, so I'm just going to do it like this. Because, yeah. But now we know that I need to have forests and I need to have islands in this deck because my commander is green and blue. So, yeah. So if I have red life, then the whole deck becomes invalid and not legal to play. Yeah. Because all the lands need to be the same as the commander. Citadel Wood Raiders, and this card has a kicker as well, which is pretty cool. When Citadel Wood Raiders enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, draw 2 cards. Okay. Okay. I'm not too sure about this card though. Why am I having this card in here? To draw cards maybe? But then it costs 6, so what the hell is the point? I'm gonna put this in my maybe pile. I don't really know why I have this in here. It has nothing to do with tokens whatsoever. And there's more powerful cards to draw cards. Or is there? I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about green, to be honest, in drawing cards, but I'm gonna throw this card out nonetheless. It's in my maybe pile now, so we'll see. This is pretty good. It's you pay 4 and you control any creature on the board. Yeah. So as long as the creature doesn't have Shroud, you control the creature. And Shroud basically means that it can't be targeted by spells. So, but if the creature doesn't have Shroud, then hey, whoop-de-doo, I took over your creature. Haha, bye-bye, man. Pretty fun. Okay, so this is a Alchemist's Refugee. It's a land that's nice to have because I can cast spells now as though they had flash. So, but I have to pay 2 and tap it to do that. But it's still a land, so now I have 5 lands in this deck. Yeah. Pretty awesome, pretty cool. Yeah, having fun. Okay. What's next? Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a really, really powerful card. Okay, here we go. Stormtide Levithian, it says here. Okay, so it's got Island Walk, which means that basically if a player controls an island, it just rolls right over him and does player damage. But I can read what it says here. The creature is unblockable as long as the defending player controls an island. Couldn't have said it better myself. So there we go. Okay. All lands are islands in addition to their other types. So that means he can just... I should probably buy one more of these. He's pretty good. Actually, I should buy this for my other blue deck as well. But here comes the kicker of this card, and there's no kick cost here, so it's just a kicker. You get a kick out of it. I got a kick out of you. Okay, here we go. Creatures without flying or island walk can't attack. So, yeah. So this is... It's extremely good. I'm not even sure if it's allowed in Commander, but there you go. I gotta check it out, but I think it's allowed. Yeah. So I should remember this card. I should buy one more for my other deck and have it in there as well. And yeah, one other thing. I can make tokens of this creature. So in case this creature dies, I can just use this guy and have a token, other card, make tokens, and then I got 4 or 5 of this guy. So as you can see, the potential for having fun with this deck is exponential. Okay, Curse of the Swine. Exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green war creature token. Yeah. So this card is actually it can do two things since I have this commander. I can remove a very dangerous creature that one of my opponents are having and make it into a boar creature token, or I can change out one of my own creatures, create a token that copies another creature on the board. Yeah. So yeah, really, really cool. And yeah. Another land, which I'm happy to have. Good to have lands. Yeah. And what do you think of this land then, Big Boss? Think it's a cool land? It's a forest, and it's sort of a mystic forest, and you got some trees there and stuff. And there's something in the background though. I think it's a city. I'm not too sure about that. You see? There's some lights there. Maybe that's something else. Maybe it's a cave or something. I don't know. But it looks like lights to me. City lights. Yeah. Okay, what's this card then? It's enchant creature. When sleep paralysis enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Yeah. So that's just puts a paralysis on a creature that you don't want to be around. So it's still in play, but it can't do anything because this card taps it and it doesn't untap. So for the player to actually be able to play this creature, he has to remove this enchantment. So he has to have some destroy enchantment to actually get his creature back in play again. Ring of Three Wishes enters the battle with 3 counters on it. And I'm going to show you, because I did show you this before. It's my box of dice. And I did have this dice right here. So, well, it's a 4-sided die, but I can just use this dice on the card like that. Yeah, to show how many wishes I got. So, Ring of Three Wishes enters the battlefield with 3 wish counters on it. Remove a wish counter from Ring of Three Wishes, search your library for a card, and put the card into your hand, and shuffle the library. So basically, I got 3 tutors with this card. So let's see if I can do this. And I just put the dice on top here. So it would look like that. Yeah. So there we go. And when I've spent a wish, I can just turn the dice again. So then it's like 2 instead. To show players that I've used the wish. Yeah. So pretty cool. And it's nice to have tutor effects in a deck, because then you can, if you're in a stingy situation and you use this, you can search for the card you need to, well, come on top of your opponents again. Yeah. There we go. Okay, what's next? It's a land. Whoop-de-doo. You still with me, Big Boss? This is pretty good, actually. Hurl into history. That's awesome. Love that name. Counter target artifact or creature spell. Discover X, where X is that spell's mana value. Exile cards from the top of your library to exile a non-land card within that mana value or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost, or put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom in a random order. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's a bit complicated, but it's fun nonetheless. Yeah. Swiftfoot boots, and this is pretty good because equipped creature has hexproof and haste. And hexproof basically means that it can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponents control. Haste isn't explained because haste has been around for quite some time, so people know what haste means. But haste basically means that if you put a creature in play and you just put the boots on him, he can attack right away. He doesn't have summoning sickness. That's what it means. Yeah. So I guess my druid got to shine. Yeah. He got to shine, man. One of the most classic cards in Magic the Gathering across all colors, Counterspell. You pay 2 islands and you counterspell. Pretty easy, pretty simple, but it's efficient and it works very well. Here we got a very old card, this, but it's for this deck, it actually is really good. Sacrifice a blue creature to put X common tokens into the play, where X is the casting cost of the sacrificed creature. Treat these tokens as 1/1 blue creatures. Yeah. But again, they don't become 1/1 blue creature tokens because I use this. And I create, well, I sacrifice another creature, of course. I don't sacrifice that creature, but I make for example, I sacrifice this guy because he's worthless. To me, anyway. And I make, and it costs 3. So I make 3 of this guy. Yeah. So, yeah, as you can see, the potential for having fun with this deck is, well, this is probably my most fun deck I've had, I think. It's the fun factor of this deck is 10 out of 10. Yeah. Okay, but I'm still gonna have this in my maybe pile though, even though the druid has now come to shine 2 times. Yeah. Okay, another island, so that means I got 8 lands now. Pretty cool. Yeah. What's this? Seek the Horizon. Okay. Search your library for up to 3 basic land cards, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle the library. Really good. Jesus Christ. So 3 lands. Yeah, that's awesome. So that's one of the good thing about green. You get to get a lot of lands very quickly. Soul Ring, nothing much to see here really. It's a mana stone. You pay 1 and you get it out there. Mana stones don't have summoning sickness, so you can just tap it and you get 2 extra mana right there. Really good. But it's probably better to get it early game than late game. Myriad Landscape. Myriad Landscape enters the battlefield tapped, and you get a generic mana. That's okay. Sacrifice Myriad Landscape. Search your life for up to 2 basic land cards, then share a land type. Put them into the battlefield tapped and shuffle. Yeah. So it's just a way of getting lands more quickly again. So yeah. I don't know if I need that many lands for this deck though. I got many cheap cards here, so but Thieving Magpie. An old card, but it's pretty cool. It's got flying, and whenever Thieving Magpie deals damage to opponent, you draw a card. So yeah. So it just attacks. It's a 1/3, so it's not that very powerful, and it costs 4, but it's got flying, so we'll fly over most creatures, and I get to draw a card if I do damage to an opponent, which in itself is really good. Keeping that. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck, actually. It's an enchantment. It's called Awakening Zone, and it costs 3. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a 0-1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token into the battlefield. It has sacrificed this creature, add 1 to your mana pool. Yeah. And again, no, I'm not making a 0-1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature. I'm making whatever I want because of this card right here, this commander, which hopefully is in play. It does cost a bit to get in play though, but once it is in play, opponents beware. So, pretty good card, and it just creates a token without me having to do anything. I just have to wait a turn, because when I throw it out, it's not in my upkeep, so I have to wait 1 round. Yeah. Pretty good. Another land. Argeomancer. Okay. When Argeomancer enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Yeah, this is actually really good. I actually need to buy 1 more of this for my other deck as well, because he's so good that I need to have 2 of them. But I do believe I have 1 more of this lying around someplace, so I should probably just search my stash and I'll find him. Or her. Looks like a she, though. Yeah, it's a woman. Okay. So I have to look for her. Okay. Here we go. Ether trade wins. Return target permanent you control and target permanent you don't control to their owner's hand. So, really good. Yeah. And that basically just lets me return Archaeomancer back to my hand, and I get to cast it again, and then I can just search my library for an instant or a sorcery card again. So, yeah. Pretty good. And if you enjoy my content on this channel, if you like what I do, then you can consider becoming a member. Big Boss is a member. He's a good dude, and he's a member. So if you want to support this channel, you do as Big Boss. There are 2 tiers. It's VIP, and it's the tier that I never can remember the name of, but Worshipper. Yes, that is it. There it is. Yeah. So you can worship me for quite a bit of bucks each month. Yeah. Okay. There you go. It's a land. And I should thank my members. It's Big Boss and it's Sam Wall, who are members of this channel. So thanks to both of them for that. Now we got 10 lands, by the way. Yeah. Okay. Rampage of the Clans. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments for each permanent destroyed. This way, its controller creates a green. Okay. So I can make tokens like that as well then. And my opponents, they're not too happy because their enchantments and artifacts are destroyed. Yeah. Gaia's Blessing. Yeah, I think that's what it says. Target player shuffles up to 3 target target. I'll try again. Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from his or her graveyard into his or her library. Draw a card. When Gaia's Blessing is put into your graveyard from your library, shuffle your graveyard into your library. Wow. So I guess this is pretty good then. it makes my game last longer. And I get to use my graveyard again. Fertile Thicket enters the battlefield tapped. When Fertile Thicket enters the battlefield, you may look at the top 5 cards of your library. If you do, reveal up to 1 basic land card from among them and put the card on top of your library and the rest on the bottom. Yeah, so. And it's a land, so. Then I have 11 lands in my deck. What's this? Sphinx of the Second Sun costs 8. At the beginning of your post-combat main phase, there is an additional beginning phase after this phase. The beginning phase includes the untap, upkeep, and draw steps. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess this is a pretty powerful creature as well. I'm not too sure what it does in my token deck though, but it's cool to have in there, so I'm just gonna keep it, I guess. Linoir Reborn. Linoir Reborn enters the battlefield tapped. With a 1+1 counter on it, whatever creature enters the battlefield, you move. Okay. I think I'll just replace this with a normal land because I don't really see the need for this. Yeah, I'll just do that, I think. But that basically just means that I have one more land, so I'm just gonna replace it later. Yeah. Begone Marvels, it says. When you cast this spell, if there are 8 or more permanence cards in your graveyard, copy the spell twice. You may choose new targets for the copies. Return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. Exile Begone Marvels. Okay, so it only costs 2, so that's pretty good. Yeah. Very nice. And I get to return potentially 2 cards from my graveyard to my hand. Or target permanents. Not sorceries. Or instances. Yeah. Temple of Mystery enters the battlefield tapped. When Temple of Mystery enters the battlefield, scry 1. Scry basically means you look at the top card, and if it's good, then you keep it on the top, and if not, then you put it on the bottom of your library. So pretty good. And that's 13 lands now. Total. Beast Within. Destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green beast creature token. Yeah, cool. Return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. Also quite cool, so I can stop an attack from happening. And the opponent has to put all his attacking creatures on his hand, which can be quite annoying because then he has to cast all the creatures again, and he probably can't cast all the creatures he has in one turn. So pretty awesome, and it does halt the game a bit in your favor. Yeah. Another land. Pretty cool. 14 lands done. Yeah. Exile target artifact or creature. Its controller creates a 1/1 blue bird creature token with flying. Yeah. But it doesn't say opponent, so I can do the same. And create a token, which isn't a 1/1 blue bird. It's whatever I want it to be. because of this commander. Yeah. Another land, so that's 15 lands so far. What's this? Redirect, okay, and it only costs 2. You may choose new targets for target spell. Okay. So it's a variation of a counter. You don't counter the spell, but you just choose new targets for the spell. Quite cool. I haven't found many cards in this deck I want to remove, actually. Just 2 until now. As Vine Glimmer Snarl enters the battlefield, you may reveal a forest or island card from your hand. If you don't, Vine Glimmer Snarl enters the battlefield tapped. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. I guess I'll keep it. Not that big of a deal, but with this land, I can choose if I want to add a forest or an island. So it's pretty good. Tommy's Completion costs 4 flash, so I can cast it instantly if I want. Enchant artifact creature or planeswalker when Tommy's Completion enters the battlefield. Tap enchanted permanent if it's an equipment unattached it. Enchanted permanent loses all abilities and doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Yeah. So I got a few of these in my deck. It's cool, but I'm not sure if I really need that many, to be honest. But here we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it. It can be annoying, and annoying my friends is fun. Land. So now we're up to 17 lands. And we're approximately halfway done, I think. Choose 2. Return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard into their library. Okay. I guess I gotta keep it, but it doesn't really fit my token deck theme quite well, but there's some useful abilities here, so I'll just keep it around, I guess. Another land. So now we are at 18 lands here, which isn't too shabby. Draw a card. You may put a land card from your hand into the battlefield. Yeah, pretty cool. So you are only allowed to play 1 land each turn, but that card lets me play 1 more land that turn. This is a classic. It's Rogue's Passage, and it also counts as a land, so I'm gonna dot that out afterwards. You get 1 generic mana, but the kicker of this card is that if you pay 4, then targeted creature can't be blocked this turn. So, pretty good. It's a way to bypass the enemy's huge defenses. And it's also a land, so. Mnemonic Wall. Defender, when Mnemonic Wall, hard to say that, try to say that 4 times fast, enters the battlefield, you may turn target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's just a wall. It's pretty much useless, but I get to search my yeah, I search my graveyard for a sorcery and put it into my hand. Another land. It's a forest this time. Yeah. You've seen this before. Wash out. return all permanents of the color of your choice to their owner's hands. Yeah, and it says permanents, as I mentioned before, so that includes lands. I can't understand anything other than that, because it doesn't say return all non-land permanents. It just says permanents. So my opponents are screwed next time I play that card. Forest. Search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield tab, then shuffle your library. So yeah. I'm not too sure if I need this, to be honest. I already got a lot of land acquisition in this deck, so I think I'll put it in my maybe pile. Search for something else that's more powerful. Add any 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Pretty good. So with this one, I can either play island or forest, and my commander identity is just that. So nice to have this arcane signet in this deck. If this deck was just one color, then it would be pretty much useless. Another land. If you withdraw a card, you may instead choose land or non-land and reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a card of the chosen kind. Put that card into your hand and put all other cards revealed this way on the bottom of your library in order. This is really good because if you got enough lands, then you can play this and you can choose that you don't want lands. So you're guaranteed to not draw a land with this card. Or the opposite. If you need lands, then yeah. Let's charge my phone. There we go. Okay. Add choose your mana activate only if you control 5 or more lands. Yeah, pretty good. And it actually fits my theme really good because False God, well, that can be a very powerful token. Okay. Oh yeah. Forgot about that. Important stuff. Now I got 23 lands. Yeah. Okay. This is sort of a 2-for-1 kind of card. So you commit to memory. That's what it says. Put target spell or non-land permanent into its owner's library second from the top. Okay. Cast the spell only from your graveyard, then excellent. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards. Wow. So it's a sort of a way to reset the game, which is quite cool, I guess. Trumokratis. Yeah. Trumokratis has hexproof unless it's attacking or blocking. So, and when it has hexproof, it can't be targeted by spells or abilities. Trumokratis can't be blocked unless all creatures defending player controls blocks it. Okay. So, yeah. So when this attacks, all creatures that defending player is controlling needs to block it. He can choose to not block it, of course, but if he blocks it, he needs to block with all creatures, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So if I have Death Touch on this guy, which is an effect, you equip an artifact on him and he's got Death Touch, then he kills every creature, even though the creature is stronger than 8 in toughness. Colony Gardens enters the battlefield tapped. When Colony Gardens enters the battlefield, put a 0/1 green plant creature token into the battlefield. And that again is really cool because then I get to activate my commander once again. Yeah. Enchanted creature, you control enchanted creature. Enchanted creature has infect. So, and for those of you who don't know what infect is, it's a whole different mechanic. You don't do damage, but you give infect counters, and you do poison counters to players. Yeah. Pretty cool. Okay, we'll take a 2 to 3 minute break, guys, and we'll continue this stream afterwards, which is pretty cool. You can have some cards to look at while we have our break. So we'll have these two, and that one is pretty cool. And we'll have Colony Gardens. Yeah. And I think I actually forgot to do that. Colony Gardens is a land, so it needs to be put in there. Yeah. Okay. 3 minute break here, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back, so let's just continue. I'm gonna remove the pause screen here. Oh, okay. One glass of water, really important. Okay, what's next? Another land. So now we got 25 lands in here, which is pretty good. What's this? Hotshot investigators. Yeah, look at them. These guys are hot shots, man. Especially this dude. Okay. When Hotshot investigators enters the battlefield, return up to one other target creature to its owner's hand. If you controlled it, investigate, and it costs 6. Okay. create a clue token. What the hell am I doing with this card in my deck here? It costs 6. I think I can find something better than this, man, to put in my deck. I'm gonna put it on my maybe pile. I don't know what I'm doing with this card right here, so I don't really know what I'm doing with this card. Surveillance monitor. When surveillance monitor enters the battlefield, you may collect evidence. Exile cards with total mana value 4 or greater from your graveyard. Whenever you collect evidence, create a... Okay. Okay, so I guess this is pretty good as well then. So basically I just exile cards from my graveyard that are 4 or greater in mana value, and I create tokens. So, and that again triggers my commander. I'm feeling I am repeating myself to death here, but my commander isn't the whole point of this deck, so I need to remind you guys of this commander each time. Hinterland Harbor enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest or an island. So this is another one of those. But that's good, because then I have another land, which are both types of lands. I do remember this was pretty good though. Hornet Queen costs 6, but it's got flying and death touch, and when Hornet Queen enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and death touch. But no, I create 4 as something else with the help of this card right here. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle. Cool. So it's a tutor card, but it searches for sorceries and instances. Okay. I think this would be better in my other deck, actually. So I'm gonna put this in my maybe pile as well. What's this? It's a land. Sonic Growth Chamber enters the battlefield tapped. When Sonic Growth Chamber enters the battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand. But I get to add both types of mana, which is really cool. It's going a bit slow with the lands though, so I probably don't have many lands in this deck, but there we go. Second harvest. For each token you control, put a token into the battlefield that's a copy of that permanent. Yeah. Really good. Land. Evacuation. Return all creatures to owner's hands. I think also this would be great in my other deck. This is basically, well, it's not a board wipe, but you put all the creatures back to people's hands. So Another card that's going in my maybe pile. When Mystic Sanctuary enters the battlefield, tapped on these control 3 or more other lands. When Mystic Sanctuary enters the battlefield, you may untapped. You may put target sorcery or instant card from your graveyard on the top of your library. Really good. A land with an extra effect is always cool to have. But I think I'll add this to my maybe pile because I need this more in my other deck than this deck. Trample when Colonian Hydra enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever Colonian Hydra attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. I don't know why I have this creature in my deck either, because it has nothing to do with tokens. This is counters, so it gets stronger. And for each creature with a token, or a counter, sorry, then they get stronger as well. But if they don't have a counter on them, nothing happens. So I think this creature isn't even going on my maybe pile. It's going on my going out pile, because I don't need this card in my deck. Land that makes 30 lands. Forgotten Ancient. Whenever a player casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on Forgotten Ancient. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move any number of +1/+1 counters from Forgotten Ancient onto other creatures. Another creature which I don't understand is in this deck, because this has nothing to do with tokens. It's counters again. It's really the same as this card. They're both almost the same. It's evolving around moving counters from creatures and stuff, but they're both pretty much useless. Oh well. Awakened Woods. Create X 1-1 green forest dryad land creature tokens. They're affected by summoning sickness. Of course they are. This is pretty good. This is exactly what I want to do with this deck right here. It's just basically you just get lots of tokens, and which means you get lots of copies of a creature in play with this. Another land. And since I got so much land acquisition in this deck, I don't think I need more lands, to be honest. At the beginning of your upkeep, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. There's got to be a reason why I added this to my deck. Yeah, of course, yeah. So I put this in play, I wait a turn, and at the beginning of your upkeep, return a creature you control to its owner's hand. So I return this, and I play this card again, and I get to put 4 counters in play again. Yeah. And I can choose not to create the tokens of a creature. I can just keep the ones with Death Touch and Flying. I can do that as well. Or do I have to? The first time you would create 1 or more tokens during each of your turns, you may. Yeah, there you go. You may. So Forest, nice to have, yeah. 32 lands. Avenger of Zendikar. When an Avenger of Zendikar enters the battlefield, put a 1/0 green plant creature token in the battlefield for each land you control. Yeah. This is what I want. This is what this deck is all about. It's tokens. So, land. And we're approaching the end of this stream here. It's not many cards left. As an additional cost to cast Disappearing Act, return a permanent you control to its owner's hand, counter target spell. Yeah. Essential. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Also quite cool. So now I got 34 lands in my deck. Junk Winder, okay. Affinity for tokens. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each token you control. That's cool. Whenever a token enters the battlefield under your control, tap target non-land permanent and an opponent controls. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Yeah, okay. A bit complicated, a bit expensive, but still, it belongs in this deck, so gonna keep it. Okay, another land. Okay, Path of Ancestry enters the battlefield tapped. Add 1 mana of any color. Colors when that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander. Scry 1. Pretty useless. Pretty pointless. Gonna remove this. Yes. So then I still have 34 lands because, well, I'm gonna remove that land, to be honest with you. Simic Signet, pretty cool. Yeah. So it gives me more mana. I have to pay 1 though, but okay. Another land. Jesus. Okay. Hideaway. When this land enters the battlefield, look on the top 4 cards of your library. Exile 1 face down. Then put the rest on the bottom of your round in the round order. Enters the battlefield tap. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost if creatures you control have total power 10 or greater. Okay. Oh, well, I guess it's pretty cool, but so I get to play this card indefinitely? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, okay. I have 35 lands in this deck. Actually, this deck has a lot of lands. Oh well. You may play an additional land this turn. Draw a card. Yeah. Pretty cool. Insidious Will. Choose 1 counter target spell. You may choose new targets for target spell. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Yeah, I guess it's good, I think. Yeah. Land, so that makes this deck actually have the recommended number of lands, 36. Creatures you control have add 1 mana of any color. I don't need this. I have enough mana as it is now. And this is pretty cool. Draw a card for each attacking creature. I actually had 2 cards that are potential replacements. Let's see at this first one. Double Gang, it says. For each of X target permanents, create X tokens and their copies of the permanent. That's awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely add this. And what's this? Curious Herd. Choose target opponent. You create X3-3 green beast creature tokens, where X is the number of artifacts that player controls. And this is also quite cool. Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's my 2-0 of my token deck. So I need to make a lot of changes here. I think, yeah. This will be better in my spell deck. This I have no use for. I have no use for this either. And this is counter-based, so it's not token-based, so I don't know why I have this. I probably misunderstood, or I was drunk or something. And the same goes for this creature right here. Yeah. Return all permanents to owner's hands is kind of shooting myself in the leg because, well, I have to return my tokens, but they don't go in my hands. They are destroyed because I can't have tokens in my hand. Another card which I feel will be better in my other deck. Or no. I do have some sorceries now, so maybe I'll just keep it. Yeah. Sorceries, instant, yeah. When Hotshot Investigate enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target creature traits on his hand. If you controlled it, investigate. Yeah, I have no use for this. No. I'll find something else. And I have no use for this either, because I got enough lands and land acquisition in this deck. Oh well, that was it for this stream. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Big Boss and Sam Wolf for supporting me with their memberships. If you want to do the same and become a member, you either become a VIP or you become what's that word again? Jesus, I have to write that down. This is getting embarrassing. Yeah, okay, I don't remember. But either way, thank you very much for watching my token deck stream 2.0. I'll be doing some changes to it and stuff, but yeah. I won't be doing any more streams this week, so you have yourself a very nice weekend, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care of yourself. Peace.